Oh, hey guys, this is Brian Duraca. I just wanted to put a little video together for you of the backyard, kind of show you around, show you what I do, and what I've kind of built, and what kind of turtles I got going on back here. So we're going to start at the beginning. Don't mind my messy yard. I got a little covered box here with some Bell's hingeback tortoises. These come in, they can be kind of sick and in rough shape sometimes, so I kind of got them really by themselves and locked down. These enclosures are built pretty sturdy. A raccoon or coyote or fox could stand on that. There's also a little carabiner for a lock to keep them from getting in. But so those do pretty good. I will eventually end up building them a pretty big enclosure. This trio I've had now for a couple years, probably a little longer than that, I'm not exactly sure, but I really want to make sure that they are solid before I dedicate space to them and put them on the ground down here. So moving on, this is my forced hingeback enclosure. Not sure if this view is going to be good sideways or not, but I guess we'll see. So here's a few of them eating right here. They got a few pellets, a little bit of weeds and stuff on the ground, but I have a group of 2.4 in this enclosure. I'm not quite done with it. I have to wire it all off still. You'll see on some of the next enclosures how I build some of the tops. So I sunk a little pond in the ground. It gets aerated. It's got basically dirt and sand mixed in there. The water hyacinth really take off and help filter the water. And I also just flush it out. Just throw the hose on there, flush it out for a while. There's lots of mosquito larvae and daphnia and all kinds of good stuff growing in that water. It helps eat all the nasty stuff, but they seem to really love it. So here we go, move on to the next one. Here is small enclosure for a juvenile radiated tortoise who is right down here. Let's see if I can get that in view. It's a small one. It's the smallest I have. All the other ones are larger, so I got in here once again. You know, I built it pretty solid. My kids have walked on top of these, and which doesn't make me very happy, but you know, it just goes to show there's not much going to get through this. The bottoms also are solid. There's deck boards going across, and there's just enough space for water to pass through so they don't flood. In the middle here, I usually plant some little ivies, some potato vine, which usually grows over, and then they can eat that perfectly fine. I got a couple cactus pads in there, mostly just because I like them, and if they get going enough, I'll just break them off and toss them in. So on to the next couple here. These are basically the same. These are 8 foot by 4 foot. They have hinged tops. The backs of them have slanted polycarbonate plastic, so that stuff can get underneath it and stay dry, as well as kind of superheat. Now this year I have 3 small radiated tortoises and a small Burmese star, and I've been just bouncing them back and forth to eat weeds that are growing. I'm not sure if I can get this. It's really bright, so I can't even see if my camera's picking this up, but there's another radiating back there. So this works out pretty well for them. Nothing can really grab them. The height of these cages is really too far for a raccoon to grab them and pull them up. So, you know, they work pretty well. All right, so on to The next ones, this is my cherry head enclosure, and the next to it is a leopard tortoise enclosure. This whole thing here is 24 feet long by 8 feet wide. I built the tops in like an A-frame, so the fronts just open up, and then I just have a 2x4 to keep them propped up while I'm working in there looking at them. So I'll show you. I planted a bunch of hardy hibiscus in the middle. There's some knockout roses in there. There's a little plant I'm experimenting with called Russian Comfrey Bocking 14. They do seem to like. It's supposed to have really great medicinal purposes and lots of different uses. Go check it out sometime. All right, so more hardy hibiscus. There's some hardy cactus pads and lilies. I just kind of redid this because they're big enough now to crawl up there, and they've just been destroying it. So I got some new cedar deck boards and just screwed them to the bottom to extend it and make it a little bit higher. So all that stuff will grow, and it'll grow over, and then they'll be able to actually eat it as it's growing over. They kind of almost annihilated my cactus pad, but that's okay, it'll be back. It's a little hideout here, and here's a nice little group of them. Sorry, they're pretty dirty. We've been getting a couple really bad storms with tornadoes in this area, so they have gotten muddy as heck. I'm probably going to install a piece of polycarbonate back here to create another dry zone, as well as some place for them to really heat up. But I haven't got to that yet, so we'll see. It's in the works, hopefully. So here's leopard tortoises. I got this really crazy bamboo looking plant that's like, I think it's 12 feet tall. It's really pretty nice. I'm not sure what it's called, but it works really good for these guys. They get back in this stuff and they can really hide. Of course they're hiding now. Let's see if I can find them. Oh, here's one. So, leopard tortoise is the first tortoise I've ever owned in my life, and my wife bought these for me for my birthday about 5-6 years ago as babies, and I've raised them, and luckily I have a pair, so we'll see if anything happens with them. I think the male is deep back there. Yeah, he's all the way back here. And you can see I use these chick waters. They work pretty good. They gotta be cleaned pretty frequently, but beyond that, they work pretty well. All right, let's take you over to the box turtles. Let's see. I got some little ponds in here, and sometimes there's some spotted turtles basking in the corner. Yep, they're up there right now. Alright, so this is my Gulf Coast box turtle enclosure. There are some North American wood turtles in here. There are some spotted turtles in here as well. There's two 50-gallon stock tanks sunk in the ground. Once again, with some dirt and sand in the bottom. There's usually some plants growing in them, but this one on the right here has been mostly destroyed. The one on the left is definitely a lot better. And then I just aerate them. I've got an aerator right in the center there, and that runs to all of these and just really helps keep the water a little more fresh. Once again, they all get flushed out once in a while, probably about weekly. I just run the hose in there and let it overfill. Here's another enclosure. This has some eastern box turtle females in it, as well as some more North American woods.